Alright, it's Leetcode time. We're doing question 11, problem 11, and we have container with the most water. And how I solved this was this was similar to a previous problem I did. I believe 2 sum 2 input array sorted, or 2 integer sum 2 array is sorted, and essentially it's a 2-pointer problem. So it's a 2-pointer problem here, and what I did was I initialized the max volume. This actually is not required. We don't need to provide the indices of the array. That is correct. So we could just do max volume. Let's have max volume exist, and as we find the max volume for not each of the possible values, but each of I'm having a hard time explaining, but it's a 2-pointer, so you have an L pointer here, R pointer here, and then while L is less than R, you have the momentary volume, which is the minimum of L and R, and then you multiply it by the width. So if the momentary value is more than the max volume, assign max volume to be the momentary volume, and then if the heights, if the left height is smaller than the right height, move the left height over, because generally the heights matter more than the width. So heights really matter. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too sure why we're not taking into account of the width, but yeah, height matters here, and we're doing heights L less than heights R. If so, move the left pointer 1 over. If the height of R is less than or equal to the height of L, we move the right point over to the left, and then we keep track of this max volume, then we return the max volume. I'm curious if this answer will actually satisfy what we have here. I don't want C++. Bring me back to Python. Okay. Now we try. Huh. Oh. Height. Well, you know what? We're doing this. Alright. Perfect. It's not the best at 59 milliseconds, but I think this will do. I'm afraid for trapping rainwater. I tried to do trapping rainwater, but having a slightly tough time doing it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope this explanation was effective and was easily comprehensible. If you have any questions, please ask. And what's really interesting is that it really clicked. It was like, oh my god, this is a 2-pointer problem. Wrong one. This is a 2-pointer problem, but for a typical 2-pointer, you're comparing the values. You're just comparing the values of each index, but here you're comparing the volume, so that's the only thing that has changed. Otherwise, this is pretty much the same question pretty much the same 2 pointers. It's literally this, genuinely this, but the comparison is just different. So yeah, that's how you solve question 11.